You know we have a podcast, right? What are you doing?
What? My survey on
Survey for what?
my
Look how
wrist.
splotchy my
They
face
send
is.
me.
So splotchy.
Yeah, we got to get you some beauty treatments.
Okay.
Yeah, some little laser action to take care of the rosacea.
Are we done?
You brought it up. Do you want some beauty treatments? Maybe a little Botox.
All right.
Some injections,
and
some fillers.
close the door.
Can you imagine?
It's the Jack
And Kathy,
Show.
shit show.
and there we go.
Yeah, how was that?
Okay,
Did you like
I
that
think
one?
I think if yeah.
Okay. If you did Botox.
Why is that so funny to you?
Because you're such a dude.
Oh,
You're such a manly man.
well, thank you.
Yeah, I can't imagine you.
I might do a tummy tuck or something. Maybe a breast lift.
Although you do like pedicures.
Well, yeah, but what? You know what? Every guy loves pedicures. Don't fool yourself.
I don't know about that.
Oh.
I know most guys need pedicures.
Secretly, every dude loves a pedicure.
I think
For real.
it's a really good idea to pay attention to your feet.
I'm not kidding you. Every dude loves a pedicure. They will say, that's stupid, because they're worried about being emasculated. But if you really talk to them, they have that foot rub thing going and the toes.
Oh, you
cleaned
know
up.
what? Is
Oh,
it
boy.
sexual? Is that where this is going?
No, because see, here's
Is this a sensual thing? Are you
No.
sure?
Yeah.
Is that why every dude
Okay,
loves it?
here's the
because
thing.
all roads lead. All
Mm.
roads lead to that.
Here's the thing. Prior to recording this podcast, I had said to Kathy, because we were having this conversation, for all of you listeners out there, I had this conversation with Kath, and she started saying things that were just like me. And you are becoming me more and more every single day.
Do I have any chia in my teeth?
I'm having a conversation with you. You are truly becoming me. And like I've said to you before, and now I'll say on the podcast for the first time, I spent thousands of dollars to get to like me again. And watching you become me makes me not like me.
Well, how are you becoming like me?
Not at all.
Oh, stop it.
Not
There's gotta
one
be
bit.
something.
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
No, I was
Is
firmly
that just
entrenched.
revolting?
Just revolting
Not a
against it.
chance.
I am.
Why would I want to be like you? Gross. Come on. There's got to be some Kathy Riley rubbing off on Jack Honar.
Say
There's
that
gotta
again.
be.
Slowly, though. Oh, God, that's a clip for the ages. Got to be some Kathy rubbing off on Jack. That sounds awesome. We're going to take a 5-minute break here.
See where all roads lead? See?
No, that's not right. It has no
oh,
connection to pedicures.
I wasn't saying all roads lead to pedicures,
No,
babe.
you're saying the pedicure is a sexual thing, and I'm saying it's not. That has nothing to do with what you just said, which was very funny, that you're going to rub off on me.
No, it was that was, you thought of it sexually.
Are you
my
arranging
point.
yourself in the video
Yes,
right now?
Yes, but I'm struggling because everything's opposite when you look at yourself in the mirror. As if I primped it all for this podcast.
It's going to say, you haven't taken a shower in 6 days.
That's not true. I took a
2.
shower yesterday, and then we swam in Lake Michigan. Oh my goodness, how fun was that? That was such a beautiful day.
It was a great day.
I've gotten to know, it's fun getting to know each other's friends. Every relationship has that, right? Where you start to merge your lives together, and you meet my posse of friends and family, and I meet your posse of friends and family. So Jack has a wonderful friend, Pat. They really, really value each other, and Pat's wife, Sue, is wonderful, and they have a boat that they keep in Waukegan, and they often invite us to join them on the boat, which we're so fortunate to have such a great invitation. And this year, like I said, the boat's being kept in Waukegan, so it's a Lake Michigan versus chain of lakes. Like the last couple of years, they were on the chain of lakes,
These
which
small,
is gorgeous.
for anyone that's
also.
around here, not around here, they're just tiny little lakes that are connected by rivers, and there's deaths on them every year.
There's deaths on them?
Oh my God!
'cause
2
people are
girls
just
died. Pat just
What?
talked about it.
Why? How?
A boat ran over kids that were in the water.
Oh,
Didn't see him. Yeah,
my
shit like that.
God.
And drunken stuff happens all the time there, for sure.
Oh my gosh,
You didn't know
that's
that?
awful. No.
Oh, God, yeah. That's why those little girls who were, when we were at that
Yes,
reef area,
Yes.
and those
that-
little girls were at least 75 yards from their boat.
Yeah.
And the other boats were undock or unanchor or disanchor. What is it called? Unanchoring? Lifting up their anchor, whatever. And they all started to leave that area. I was worried the girls weren't going to be
No
seen.
doubt, because I'm sure the girls think they're plainly obvious in the water, but when you have people that hang in the water and they consume copious amounts of alcohol all day long, not a good look on you with the baseball cap like that. Not at all. It's not a good look.
We're going to go with it.
Oh God.
Just go. Finish telling your
Yeah,
story.
I mean, no, everybody drinking alcohol, and then they get in the boat, and I can see how they wouldn't think to pay attention of two little girls in the water, and that's so sad.
Well, because in
and
the
scary.
water, you can see everything, but you're a dot to a boat
Yeah.
or a reflection for that
Yeah.
matter. So, yeah, the chain has deaths every year. You should look it up. Every year there's some kind of
That
something going on.
is
It's pretty
sad.
ridiculous. Yeah. So we had a great time. Anyway, you were talking about the friends we met. and
Yes,
some
we
of the
were
other
talking
stuff.
positive, and then you went morbid. But no, so we're in Lake Michigan now, and there's this one spot in Lake Bluff that has a sandy area, and all these boats come and hang out there. And the water was glorious yesterday. It must have been low 70s or something. And
We think it was that warm?
oh,
I don't think so.
no, you don't think so? It was super comfortable, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
And
But it's shallow enough. The point is, it's shallow enough that we could stand waist high and
Yes.
play games and toss frisbees and stuff.
Yes,
so,
yeah. And we had a great time. It was really
Yeah.
nice, and their friends are lovely. And
The friends are
so,
awesome. Yep.
yeah, that was a really good day.
Well, and we're how about we tell Dave and Amy to listen to the podcast then too,
For sure.
so they'll hear their names and they'll think they're famous. Psych. Yeah, you're listening to nobodies. That's who you're listening to. Nobodies. It was a great time, though. It was nice to meet new friends because these are people that are friends of Pat and Sue's that we've not met before.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. And they're recently married after.
Yeah, that was really fun to talk to them
we-
too. They've been married 2 years, obviously second marriage for both, and they met on a dating app, and they should probably be guests on our podcast too. And ding ding ding, you're just
That's a
thinking
good
of that now?
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am just thinking about that now because we've been going guestless for a long time.
Guestless,
Yeah, guestless.
not guest list.
No, did I sound like list? Guestless.
I was just enunciating.
Guestless. We've been going without guests. Boom,
Yeah,
for a long time, and I've been kind of settling into that. They would be really good guests.
they would be very good guests.
We should
yeah,
do
they'd be
that.
fun.
I'll reach out to them. Well, we're
Yeah,
going to reach
so it
out.
was
Anyway,
fun to
they're nice.
share the stories with them because two of the couples were,
Yeah.
on their first marriage and going strong, and then the other two couples were, ourselves and them included.
Do you
We're on their
notice?
second marriages, and it was
Do you notice? I think I brought this up to you that we're running into more divorced people. And
maybe
second
there's something that we're attracting. Maybe it's like when
the universe is telling us that
when a dog sees another dog and they
sniff each
them
other's
out.
asses.
Maybe we're attracting other
What is
divorce.
wrong?
Maybe there's some.
Yeah, we're
like,
attracting
maybe there's
them.
a smell or a scent of divorced people. It's like,
Oh, babe,
smell
you
something familiar.
used to be so nice and so cool, and you are becoming me every second of the day.
maybe I'm a better version of you, though,
Oh, really?
because I'm cute.
Oh, my God.
You have chia in your teeth. See, you're becoming me.
I don't have chia. Do I really have
You have
chia in my
shit in
teeth?
your teeth.
Do I really have chia?
Yes, Kathy, you do.
Come on.
Wait, top one. Let me see. I'm not gonna get it, but you get
Get it.
it. No, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I can't pick things off of you.
Where is it? How are you going to take care of me when I'm older if you can't clean? Oh, my God, there is one. I'm becoming you in the worst way.
You're gonna start snoring now.
You're becoming funny and clever and witty, and I'm getting food in my teeth.
You're becoming funny and witty and clever as if I had none of that before.
See? and I'm getting food in my teeth.
Then you're going to start snoring.
Well, maybe
Then you're not going to wash your hair for days.
Maybe I'll get really super pretty, right? Maybe I'll get super pretty and you'll get bald and look like a guy.
We should do that for
what? Halloween? I dress as you.
Yes.
Whatever.
We'll get you a
You're
wig.
still going to be hot.
I'll get
bite
I'll
me.
get a skull cap.
Oh, you're still going to be a hot bald chick. I'm going to look like Fred Armisen on Portlandia when he's that female chick.
You did say you dressed up as a woman once.
Don't. That was a terrible
Halloween.
experience for me. That was terrible.
You were forced to dress up.
That was
dress up
terrible.
Like
It was a previous girlfriend prior to you, clearly.
Were
not
you wearing
during.
heels?
I got decked out in the whole outfit, and I hated every fucking minute of it.
I can't believe you did
I
that.
was trying to be so nice because it was so important to her.
I can't believe you did that.
I'm a good guy.
Is that what a good guy does?
Yeah,
He
good guy.
caves when he doesn't know.
Caves.
When you know it doesn't feel right.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, babe, I'm
All
just
those
poking
years
the
of
line.
therapy are fucking shot to hell in a 5-minute conversation with you. Gone.
Oh, babe, I'm just having a good time.
Are you?
Yeah.
At whose expense?
Maybe yours.
God.
Maybe yours.
I don't even know if I want to talk to you anymore. This banter has been hurtful. You're not stopping laughing.
It reminds me of the other day when you were whining so much.
I wasn't whining. I was in a lot of pain.
My word. You were whining. You were using nothing but your whiny voice.
I think you have no empathy anymore. I think you've lost that gene.
Jack had to get a shot. He had to get his D-PAP. D-TAP? D-dip? What's it called?
Tdap.
Tdap. Tetanus, diphtheria, whatever. And it tends to make him not feel well. So, I don't know, 15 hours later when it really hit your system.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Wasn't it the following day?
It was the following day.
And you weren't feeling so hot. And you came home and you fell asleep in the basement.
I went to my office feeling great. And then around 1 o'clock, I didn't even really eat anything. That wasn't it, though. It wasn't because I didn't eat. It was just eating lightly. And at 1 o'clock, it was like, oh, fuck. Joints started to ache.
Yeah.
That's happened after every type of vaccine. So
Yeah.
when I got the shingles vaccine, knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
And you were so, for any relationship that's trying to figure out what you should look for in a partner, empathy, sympathy, care. I was dying. And all I got was you mocking me.
Is it fair to say
Fair.
What
is fair?
You don't do illness or pains or sickness well sometimes.
I broke my ribs and lasted an entire weekend camping, mind you.
I know. See, that's what's interesting is you can be a real badass a lot of times. And then like you're a little achy, which I get, it's real. But you come upstairs and you're like, I can you just hold me? And this is the voice. This is literally the voice. I can't. No, don't put your phone down. Can you just hold me? And
Are
I'm
you
like,
done?
Seriously?
Are you done?
And you talk like this.
I'm trying to wonder if I was this insensitive on the podcast to you, how many people would be like, you are so mean to Kathy. That's terrible. The problem
Why is that the voice when you imitate me?
because that's how people talk. And so when you're doing this to me right now, people are probably going on your side. This is the terrible thing about this relationship. It's very one-sided. Because people, whatever. People are going to listen and go, he probably was being a baby because men are babies, man.
Oh my gosh, we had such a good chuckle about it.
Did we?
Too. Yeah,
we
did.
had a good chuckle?
Yeah.
Did we?
I was like, babe, talk in your normal voice.
I don't remember us have.
I can't.
Shut up. You are brutal to me.
Tell me what I'm saying is untrue.
That my pain was real and that you were insensitive. Yes, that's all true. Is everyone listening? Can everyone So on Spotify, if you listen on Spotify or on YouTube, if you watch on YouTube, you can add comments. If you agree with me or Kathy, let's just take a poll. I'm going to put a poll out there when I post this. I'm going to put a poll.
And you said, your head really hurts. And I said, let me get you something. And you go, no, I don't want anything.
Wrong.
Babe,
you did not
if your
say that
head
your head
hurts,
hurt. No, you're trying
if
to
your
act
head
like
hurts,
you were
let
nurse.
me get you something.
Oh, you were Nurse Kathy all of a sudden.
Yeah. I got up and I found you medication. And I brought it
No.
to you.
You went in. You were in the bathroom. You didn't.
I would have gone downstairs if I needed to. You know I would have.
You didn't.
You told me to give you.
You said, I've got
3
aspirin. Take it. That's exactly what you said. I've got aspirin. Take it. Can I have 3? You'll have 2 and you'll be fine. Verbatim, everybody.
I pet your head
You didn't do a thing.
while I was on my iPhone with the other hand.
Get away from me. Stop touching me right now. This is patronizing. For anyone listening, I want to vote. Do you think Kathy was mean to me, or do you think I was deserving of better
You're
attention
so
and
fun.
love? What is...
You're so fun. We had a good chuckle though.
Did we? We
'Cause
still are
eventually
having
you stopped whining and you talked like a normal
Oh,
human being.
okay.
And then we had a normal conversation. You were all normal and fine. And then what did we do that night? I think we got up and went.
Simply because the invitations went out does not mean the marriage is going through.
Oh, it's done. It's done. Invitations went out. There's no going back. Don't you know that's how it works?
Is
Once the invitations
You
go
don't
out,
even wear
yeah.
your ring that I made you.
It is upstairs, and I often forget to put it back on.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're going to get tattoos. We want to get a ring tattoo.
What's yours going to say?
Jack.
Sure it is. You're going to pick some other generic initials of some dude that you can pursue next time.
JMH.
Is that what you would really get?
Yeah, why not?
I'd get JMH on mine too.
So you don't forget who you are.
Who am I?
Yours would say car.
Yeah,
And
what?
people would be like
He
why
likes
do you
cars.
have to-
What a weirdo.
why'd you tattoo the word car
Yeah.
on your finger?
I would just have a... Oh, God, I was going to say something so bad I forget it's a podcast.
Yes, pretend
Breathe.
your mother is in the room because
Right?
she is.
No, I would have
Hi,
said it
Carol.
in front of my mother.
Mm-hmm.
I have to pretend that your parents are in the room.
Hi, Mary and Dennis.
That would make me mind myself a little bit more.
Yes.
And boy, do I wish I could tell stories about your parents, but I won't.
What are you talking about?
The lunch conversation we had, which is still hilarious. Let's segue.
Okay.
We were having a really interesting conversation this morning. Do you know what we were talking about? Do you want to go through that? I'm just curious about. We should have 2 polls. One
Yes.
is Kathy nice to Jack? Yes or no? Say yes and win a $50 Chipotle gift card. Say no and never listen to the podcast again. Or leave us your
Wait.
email address.
Is Kathy nice
Mean
to
to Jack. Is Kathy
No, you
mean-
said is Kathy nice to Jack?
Oh. that's
Say
the other way around.
yes,
Say yes.
and win a $50
No. Oh,
Chipotle
shit. Is that what I said? I'm going to have to go back
I'm
and
pretty
listen.
sure
I
you
don't think
did.
so.
Yeah. Well, you got it right.
No, I didn't get it right.
It's going to be expensive for you.
Oh, what has happened in this dynamic between us?
So this is a funny Jackism. So Jack will
Oh my God.
volley a ball across the net with you'll be I don't know. Let's give an example. Like you will be sassy about something, and you'll, in essence, volley something towards me. And when I volley back and I start playing the game, you're immediately like, I can't believe you said that. I'm like, what?
Is this
I think it
entire
was a great
podcast a
comeback.
therapy session? Is that what this is right now? We have spent 20 minutes talking about me.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Is it? It's
Yeah.
not in a positive way. It's not like you did such a good job fixing the house or thanks for being a provider to our family. None of that. I'm getting
Babe.
you whine when you're sick. Keep going.
Babe,
Yeah.
you know I love you so much.
And then you
You know
patronize
I
me with
do.
that. I love you though. But I
You know I love
but
you
you
so
know
much.
I love you. So Why is that a big deal, Jack? 'Cause I love you. Everyone vote for me. I'm Kathy.
Okay, let's talk about your voice again
I don't
when
want
you imitate
because
me.
that's what you sound like. Listen, you don't listen to the podcast. I do. I'm going to go back and listen. All I'm going to hear is you were whining.
I think you're good. You're good. You're okay.
Can we
You're
end
okay.
it here
We got
now?
this.
Because this is not where I wanted to go today. It's very heavy on my heart.
Oh, it's all right, baby. Okay, so.
By the way, I want to add something.
Yes.
Isn't it funny how much fun we're having since I said we're not doing any more fucking work on the house, and look what's happened.
Babe, you keep saying that. I get it. That's your perspective. I feel we always had fun.
I wasn't having fun
Well, that's fair, and that's important.
because I always felt the burden of something sitting over me, some albatross of work, and I'm glad we have nothing to do on the house.
Yeah.
It's been
Well, not
glorious.
nothing,
Well,
but
but
we
small
don't have
stuff.
big projects, right?
We don't have things that
You know
are
what's going to
hanging.
be a big project is cleaning all the work items out
Out of
of
the-
the spare
yeah.
bedroom. I look
that-
at that floor of
the tools.
tools and stuff that have
Yeah.
been come into the house
That
from
came to
doing the
workshop for
bathroom
us, yeah.
project. It's like, oh boy, that's a lot of stuff.
But
in
see,
there.
okay, so here's my perspective. We've got nothing going on this week. Right? We don't have anything we have to get done. We're trying to tile or grout or blah, 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 whatever. And so I told you my next big project is to make a door for Alex for her house, for her front door. But that's not a project to me. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said I want to lay all the tools out. So taking all the tools out from the workroom that we just created in the spare bedroom, bringing them downstairs and laying them out and getting them organized and then building that stuff. That's what I want to do next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is enjoyable because we don't have any formal plans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the weekend after this is the Air and Water Show. So this upcoming weekend, we just have the party at the Mac, at the club.
Yeah.
So I'm just very happy that, for me at least, it seems relaxing that I don't have something that's sitting over me going, when we get home, oh, fuck, we still have the bathroom or whatever. So I know it's not as impactful for you. It is for me.
I totally understand,
Okay.
agree, and I want you to be happy, babe.
So I just find it interesting. Let's segue then. So can you set the table for what came up, or do you not want to talk about that?
Yeah, I had a friend reach out last night who happens to be traveling with my ex, and they were visiting with my daughter, and I got a text late in the night, like 11 o'clock, and it said, hey, does your daughter, I was just chatting with your daughter, does she know about you and Jack getting married? And so it just made us talk about this again. Have we talked about this before?
I don't
This topic?
know if we have. Maybe it feels like something we might have talked about, but the context we would have talked about is different.
Yeah.
We would have said that before, because clearly we've talked about our engagement. So let me think out loud with you for a second here, okay?
Talk out loud.
No, see, I didn't say that. Had I said that, I'd be becoming like you, and that would be yet another bad
But
quality.
that's so cute.
Is it?
Yeah. Talk out loud. Yeah. I always would say, I'm going to talk out loud a second. He's like, I think talking is always out loud. You mean thinking out loud?
Exhausting.
That's like something your adorable sister would say, right?
Correct.
Talking out loud.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
she's so cute.
I feel that, again, let me think this through. We likely talked on the podcast prior to getting engaged how we talked to the kids about the fact that we wanted to get engaged.
Yes.
And-
We had conversation. Sorry if I can add
Good.
a more elaborate thought there. We knew where we wanted to go, and we are, we have 5 adult children. Jack has the 3, I have the 2, and we thought at this stage we should probably talk to them first to make sure they're okay with it. I don't know what we would have done if one of the kids was like, yeah, don't,
I think we would have listened. We respect our kids a lot. It
Yeah,
was more
we
important
do.
to start, I think in order, we both agree, it comes us, that's you and me. We make each other a priority, and then we make our kids a priority. Not that it's glass balls, rubber balls, right? So anyone listening, I don't want them to think it's always, it's a ubiquitous us first and everybody else. But we tend to make a priority of things, and so we of each other. And so we came up with a decision. We should probably talk to the kids. Had one or more of our kids said, I'm really concerned about X, that would have been a conversation between you and I to say, hey, maybe we're missing something. It's sad to think that they would have said something that would have been so powerful enough to make us consider not staying together.
Right.
I do think we respect our kids so much that we would have listened to those details.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
And then following is our immediate family, your brother, sister-in-law, parents, etc., and my family.
Yeah.
And if they had said, really worried about, had they said anything to you, by the way?
No,
Just popped into my head.
No, they adore
because
you.
my family likes you, but they don't like me. So, so the point is, we did talk, to circle back to your question, I do believe we talked about the process of getting engaged. I don't feel we've talked about this process, though. This is something that it's really interesting, if I might. I've always been envious of what I perceive to be, and you never know what goes on inside a home, right? You can only see the external of what they present to you.
Yeah.
But I've always been curious when you see other couples, I'm always amazed by, rather, or appreciate the fact that you can see the two of them bond when a topic comes up. It's almost like they shut the rest of the world off and go, this is us, right? And so I have that with you for the first time. I have that feeling of, man, do I have a partner?
Team us.
Yeah, but I see it with Alex and Sam. I see it with Laura and Bill, right? I see it with your parents. I see it with Dennis and Carol, right? They never really, I'm sure every single one of them has their moments of disagreement, but boy, they don't show it. And so when we were, if I can set the table and then you take over.
Yeah.
When we were getting engaged, this is one thing, you finished my thought. This is one thing we didn't think about doing. I didn't feel we needed to do. And we were both very consistent on that topic together and insistent on the topic. So do you want to talk about the topic?
Yeah,
That's what I'm getting at.
and that topic is, did we have a responsibility to contact our exes and let them know that we are engaged and going to be getting married again? Is that something that is on us? And we both agreed that given our dynamic with our exes and our history there and where we came from in that relationship, that's not our responsibility. The concern, that would be the end of it, if we weren't concerned about how this leaves our children. Does that then fall on the responsibility of the kids? And is that something that I should take into consideration? And actually I do take into consideration when making a final decision on that. Because if it was just you and I, no, we don't need to contact our exes and let them know these big,
if we
big
didn't
things
have
in our
kids.
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we didn't have kids, but we do have children. And if that decision really burdens one of the children in some way, I will reconsider that decision and opinion. And so yes, this was all prompted by a friend asking last night, does Mackenzie know you're getting remarried? And my response was, well, of course, we talked to the kids before we even made that decision. And absolutely, they all know before it even happened. It's not that we got engaged and then called them. We asked them before
Long
the deed
before,
was done.
by the way. Months before it happened.
Yeah. And so, and my response was, of course she knows, and I'm not sure Steve knows, my ex knows, but, and he's, so anyway, that's how this all transpires. And so, I don't know the full context of that moment because I haven't talked to anybody yet, but it brought it up for us.
Well,
I would love to get people's opinions
but I
on
think
that.
you're leaving out a critical point.
Sure. What?
You were criticized for not telling him.
That's how it felt.
That's how it felt. That's
Yeah.
what he said.
Yeah.
He criticized you.
Yeah.
It wasn't passive.
Yeah, that's true.
It
Yeah.
was straight up criticism.
Right.
He criticized you for not being the one directly saying it. And
Yeah.
when you told me of the criticism, my first reaction was pretty much on par with how we feel about it, which was, fuck you. I don't need to tell anybody. Like, at what point do you have... This is where I'm curious to get people's point of view. So we'll have 2 polls. Number 1, how often is Kathy mean to Jack? 100% of the time, 98% of the time, 97% of the time.
Where's the Chipotle gift card again in that whole scenario?
And then the second question is, because it's interesting, we're meeting more divorced people, like Dennis that we met, and Angela at the club, divorced, second marriage. Certainly we talked about some other people that we've met at the club, right?
Yeah.
So we seem to be running into more people who have gone through this. I'm curious if they're listening to this podcast, if they would chime in, or anyone that's been in similar circumstances, because kind of the criticism we're getting from people, you said it, you get very cautious when we're on the podcast, but offline, you're very aggressive. I don't know if you know that. You tend to be more conscientious of how people would perceive us.
Well, it's really just my family and my children that I'm sensitive to.
I get
Should
it.
they listen
Same.
to this? I want to be.
But do you remember saying something to the effect of, why don't you get divorced? You said this to me this morning. You remember? Can I say this? Is it okay to say it?
I'm not sure what you're going to say.
Well, you said, why don't you get divorced and then tell me how you would handle all these situations, right?
Yeah.
So walk a mile in my shoes is what you were saying.
True.
So I was taken aback that there was this criticism of you. Oh, you should have done it. And I got the same. We've not talked about this. There's no way to talk about it on the podcast. I got the same initial pushback from others saying, well, are you going to tell your ex? And I went, no. At what point, after me being divorced for a while, I've been divorced obviously for a while, when do we stop having to share stuff with our ex? Particularly if you don't have a great relationship with them, right? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. I'm in the same camp. So I did, when I first met you and was embarking on your meeting the kids for the first time, I did feel responsible to call my ex and say, hey, I'm dating somebody and they're going to be meeting the kids, and I just thought it was a respectful thing to let you know. And that was met like a lead balloon. It was like, okay. That's how it felt to me, that it was just like, whatever, don't tell me that you're doing that. I don't, because our kids are grown adults. It's not like they're 5 and 7 years old and I'm bringing somebody else into their lives and it's going to be, super influential, and they're going to be raising them to a degree and all of that heavy young kid stuff.
Because that certainly feels different than the stage of life where our kids were and when we met.
Yeah. And the background of my marriage and my ex we were never great communicators. We were never, and I'm sure I have something to own there for sure. And I will say that he is not a great communicator. He does not share. He does not go deep with me, maybe with somebody else. I hope so. But we never had that as a foundation to our relationship in the past. And we are not in a place right now, and maybe someday we will be. It's hard to imagine, but we don't share like that, and we never have. So when I shared that I was going to introduce you to the kids, I started to think, does he think I might be rubbing his nose in it or something? Like I met somebody and I'm moving on. And, I
see, that's the thing. You and I, can I press pause on this for
Yeah.
a second? Totally agree with everything you're saying. And so I'm trying to flip the script and say, what does it feel like to be on the other side? The empathy piece, right? I'm trying to walk in their shoes and what that must feel like, right?
Yeah.
And so I get it. And we could try to contemplate and prognosticate and guess what other people are feeling, right? Meaning, yeah, are they thinking we're rubbing it on their faces? Yeah, that's a valid thing they may be thinking. So let's be conscientious to not rub it on their faces, right? Glad I found someone and you didn't. That's an asshole thing to do. We were saying the children that you and I have raised together are going to be exposed to someone else that I care about, and I want you to know about that because this person is important in my life, and I don't want the kids to struggle with it, and they're going to have now this next phase that they have to deal with It's not, again, we talked about it the last podcast. This is exactly what we talked about, right? Being worried about how the kids are going to navigate things because this is new for us. We don't know how to navigate being divorced people getting connected.
Sure don't.
It's no different than being a parent for the first time. You don't know what the fuck you're doing no matter what you read or study.
Yeah.
You learn on the go. And so the one piece that I feel that you and I feel adamant about, for some reason on this topic, you and I are lockstep. And everything else, we've been talking to our partners about different things, at least communicating different things. I'm just feeling at this stage of where we are, I don't have to tell them we're getting married. And maybe other relationships from exes are really good. Like on The Bear, we watched The Bear and how she wants her ex to show up at the wedding. That's great for some people. That's not great for us.
Right.
We met someone from work, part of Compass, who has a decent relationship with her ex, and her ex is...
It took a while. Right.
Yeah, but that's, at least right now, that's not us. So I think what you and I are both asking, which is funny, it's our podcast, but I think we wish we had guests right now. I wish this was a live studio, a live audience or something.
Yeah.
Where we could say, what do you all think? Should we have been more empathetic? Should we have been more, hey, I want to let you know I'm getting married? Or, hey, I want to let you know. Like, I don't feel... I don't know. I think maybe my gut reaction, Kath, is I just want to move on. Like I'm tired of that connection. How's that? Is that it for you?
I just never really had that connection, I mean.
No, I mean, let me be
So
more clear. Let me be more clear because I wasn't clear. I'm tired of having the line to the ex-wife. The line is the kids. I get that. Can't change that. But I'm tired of having
a responsibility.
Yeah. Because
the only reason I think we would is if one of the kids truly said, this should not be on me. This makes me really uncomfortable. You need to be the one to tell them. And maybe it would change my mind, or maybe it would just open up the dialogue to say, let's talk about that.
That's exactly what happened to me, though.
Right.
I had that dialogue. What was said to me was almost those same words. I don't feel comfortable saying it. And I went back and forth and then had discussions with all three of my kids, and it kind of netted out that, hey, I went down this path of when does it stop, right? When does it stop? I get it. For the kids, it fucking sucks. I get it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm really torn right now.
Yeah.
Do you feel we handled it poorly?
No. It makes me want to continue a conversation though with my children, and because I've asked them before. I believe I have. I've asked them before if they want me to. I gotta ask them. I can't remember clearly if I've asked them if they want me to tell their father or not, but. I got to ask them if I've asked that.
And so here's the wrong thing to do, and yet this is what I want to talk about. The wrong thing to do here is to say, well, if you were getting married, I don't need to know, and I'd be really happy for you. That's the wrong thing to say, right? Because that's our emotions attached to their experience, right? And yet that feels like the right way to approach it. And so I'm being almost hypocritical. Am I being clear here? How I would truly be happy if my ex found somebody and they were good to the kids and they were good to the ex, right? I'm sure you feel the same way about yours.
Absolutely. Everybody deserves happiness.
But that doesn't mean they're going to be happy for us.
Right.
And that doesn't mean the kids are going to be happy.
Right. You can't do something like that with the expectation of it being reciprocated. That's not
or
why
thought of the same way.
That's not why you do good deeds,
Yeah, just because you and I think and feel a certain way, because we could make the argument, it's their feelings. That's the bottom line. And again, I'm really torn. It was just interesting that you got criticized in a text, and then you kind of shot back with a, "Whoa, are you criticizing me?" And you got I'm just kidding, which to me is bullshit. They weren't kidding. It's that you called them out on their criticism. And by the way, your call out of the criticism wasn't defensive. It was just, hey, I'm picking up a vibe here. Am I reading you right? And I think that's what you and I are bringing up in this podcast today. That's what we're reacting to.
Yeah.
because I feel most people told me that I should say something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I went, I am tired of having that responsibility.
Yeah.
Because I don't have that type of relationship, or at least I don't feel I do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Where it was this amicable, we're going in different directions, divorce. You want this, I want that. You're really cool. Hey, by the way, I'm dating someone. That's awesome. Good for you. Hey, we're going to get married. Oh my God, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
You and I didn't have that.
Mm-mm.
Right?
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
Not even close.
And it's certainly, it's never been said to us, by the ex. So we don't know what's happening in their lives, in terms of relationship, really.
This is the most we have talked about our ex and the dynamic in 86 podcasts.
Yeah.
Or whatever number we're on. And I still don't want it to be disparaging to them. It's critical to me that this is not perceived as they were something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious, do you feel that? Are you coming around and feeling differently now that, maybe we should have said something?
No, but my concern is my daughter okay? Was there something uncomfortable for her? And was there something that I need to do that I should have done or paid attention to that I'm not? Like, I just want to make sure that I'm not missing something, because
well, here's the fucking deal. Let me interrupt you. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
To me, the getting married, who gives a fuck? It's a byproduct. We bought a house together 2.5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I moved to Wisconsin. What is this, a fucking shock that we're in a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
So to me, the aspect of saying, what do we tell people? Hey, we were intimate. I mean, do you do that? Like, where does it stop?
Mm-hmm.
Right? At what point do you this is where I truly, truly fucking struggle.
Mm-hmm.
I really do, because a part of me can see how that would affect the kids and the ex, and who's the responsibility, and I want to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know, how about this? I know someone that I dated when her ex got engaged. It crushed her for different reasons, because I think she still was in love with him.
Mm-hmm.
But she found out because her kid saw the ring on the dad's new girlfriend's hand. And the kid said to the new partner,
mm-hmm.
is that an engagement ring? And the dad said, oh, yeah, I was going to tell you. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
And then they came over to tell the younger kid, because they figured, well, let's come over to the house and tell the other kid. And she kind of walked in the house and paraded it at her new husband's ex-wife's house. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So the girlfriend, the fiance of the ex, came to the wife's
ex-wife's house
to show the other kids that they were getting engaged. Kind of said, yeah, here's the ring. We're all excited. That's fucked up too.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of, you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know, babe. I felt we did it well and correct, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, we did what's right for us, and this was a little, we're getting closer and closer to the wedding, so maybe some of this stuff is just going to boil up. We should maybe be prepared for that. Maybe some underlying feelings in our children are going to come to the surface, and we're going to have stuff to deal with. It's easy to talk about some distant event, and then you get closer to it, and maybe it's going to bubble. Maybe we're going to have stuff to.
So here's
to have some conversations now.
Yeah. So here's the place that I sit in, and God, for some reason, I'm trying to sell people who are listening to this on this concept. When my daughter was getting married, and you hear speeches all the time from fathers who are speaking at weddings, right? That is just a day. The wedding is just a day. It's not the marriage, it's not the commitment. You and I have been committed to one another since we met, got a house within 9 months of meeting with another. We've been together for 3+ years, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just celebrated
mm-hmm.
our anniversary this
Mm-hmm.
past Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
right, of knowing one another. And so who gives a shit about the day? That's what I'm getting at. All this now emphasis and emotion and discussion is, it's funny when you got the inquiry and that text that was a little bit strong, it was, did you tell people about the fact that you're doing this stuff? I live with the guy. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's just a day that we're having, and it's our day. You see what I'm getting at?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The discussion is because we're putting an event together that prescribes our love. Oh, and by the way, it's just with the immediate family.
Mm-hmm.
We're not throwing shit in people's faces. How many,
Mm-hmm.
boy, I'm getting really preachy now, aren't I? How many people do we know that go online and boast of their new boyfriends and girlfriends that we've seen who've been separated. You and I have had stories about this, where they almost throw it in each other's face about what they're doing. We don't post that shit.
No.
And so
No, there's nothing vindictive about our choices. It's not
we could
at all about
we
that.
could get fucking married right now, not have a dinner, not do anything. You have a ring, I've got a tattoo, right? And no one would fucking know. Unless someone asked, you guys going to get married one day? Oh, we did. We went to the courthouse, got it done a couple days ago. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
It's because it's an event.
Yeah.
And there's some permanence to it. Well, I'm not going anywhere. Well, you're getting really contemplative over there. I can see it.
No, I'm listening. I'm
just
listening
getting,
intensely.
I truly can understand how the other partner may feel hurt or lost, or how the kids may go, shit, this is real now. My point, what wasn't real? And oh, by the way.
What are we going to do?
Well, oh, by the way,
know?
we could still get divorced 5 years from now. I'm not
How
trying
do
to be
you-
an asshole, but give me a break.
Do you think sometimes there's just situations where you're just not going to win? It's never going to be, you're never going to figure it out in such a way that everybody feels good. Maybe it is just the nature of this situation that someone's just not going to feel good. And so where do you draw the line? And what we've chosen to do is do what's right for us and be respectful to others. But at the end of the day, we have to do what's right for us, and our happiness in each other is a priority, because this is what we have. You know, I mean, our kids are going off and building their own lives, and as they should, and be happy and making choices for themselves. And we're two divorcees of grown children, and we found each other, and we want the rest of our time together, however, I hope it's a long time, to be the best it can be. And we are a team, and we're making this decision for us. And so maybe there's just no winning. Maybe it just is going to be bumpy no matter what. You just can't smooth the surface.
For sure. I like that.
You know?
Do you feel that part of the challenge that we have is a personality trait we share, which is that when this comes up, we instantly get introspective and go, oh, fuck, did I handle that wrong? Because at the time, you and I talked about all of these things, and my kids were asking stuff, and I went, no, I don't feel comfortable. I feel this is something I don't need to keep sharing. And then it comes up again and potentially again, right? And then you and I get very I think we share that trait, don't you? That we get introspective.
Yeah.
Not beating ourselves up necessarily, but we get very introspective and like, oh, fuck. And maybe do you feel that that's an emotion you have that it makes you rethink a little bit, or no?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because I'm probably too often blame myself for things very immediately. Like I immediately take responsibility for something and forgetting that I made that decision for myself. And it wasn't about, it was just the right decision for myself. And then if it comes back and somebody's hurt by it, it's like, I'm very quick to beat myself up over it,
See, I think that's what you and I are experiencing.
That's a huge responsibility, to have my choices and actions affect other people. I mean, that's the nature of divorce, right? We talked about in the last podcast that our marriages were this life form, and there were others feeding off of this life form, our family, our children, our home, our friends, and the way we interacted with the life and the world and everybody was a part of that life force of that marriage. And we made a choice to end it. And it's unavoidable that people, it's unavoidable the hurt that it causes other people. And so it's very easy in this situation when you were the one that made the decision. It wasn't decided for you. Our exes would not have chosen to get a divorce. And even though we think both of them could easily admit that it was not a great relationship.
Yeah,
that's
the irony
it doesn't
of it.
mean
One was,
it doesn't
one was
mean
willing to say I can't do this anymore. The other was, well, fuck it, just the way things are. I'm going to slosh through it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they weren't on the same page.
Right. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think they'd admit that. But so that's just maybe the nature of it. Getting back to, we're never going to make this smooth. Is there a right answer? I don't know. I am interested, if anybody listening has an opinion on this. I really am interested in hearing it.
I am too. It's funny. We're truly asking for feedback, and on YouTube or privately, you can email us at Jack and Kathy Shit Show, spelled out literally Jack A-N-D Kathy Shit Show at gmail.com.
Kathy with a C.
Kathy with a C, yeah. Because you know who responds to a lot of our, is my friend Pam, who we talked about. She responds to a lot of our posts. It's funny because I don't often, it's going to sound really arrogant, I don't really give two shit sometimes about people's opinions of this stuff. I care about yours. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And this is one of those moments where for someone to kind of step into a criticism of you for the choice you made, I want to fight back on so many layers, and we're not going to go down the details of what was shared with you, but you and I spoke offline outside this podcast about what the fuck was he doing X, Y, and Z, and why was he baiting the topic? And it seemed like he was trying to create an issue. And so with that just being as the backdrop, this is the first time I truly want to know, did we handle this wrong? Because kids are the priority. I personally do not feel responsible anymore to my ex. I don't know that you do either.
No.
And I wish them all the success in the world. That's not,
no doubt,
pejorative, bloviating right now. I truly wish them incredible happiness. For the sake of everybody, for the sake of themselves, for the sake of our kids.
Yeah, and I think, that's just it. I was going to add that, for the sake of the kids. I mean, I think the kids want both of their parents to be really happy and find partners that enrich their lives and their relationship and make them feel secure and loved, So
it's not easy. I mean, I fucking get it. So I would love if people responded. You can do it publicly. We have no problem with it.
So if
you want to go to YouTube and if you're watching us on YouTube, you can leave a comment there.
Anywhere you stream it, you can leave comments. So Spotify and
you know
Apple
what I think I'm going to do, babe?
Music. What?
I haven't. Sorry for interrupting you.
All good.
They can leave comments on Spotify for sure if you have it. I don't know if you can on Apple. I got to believe you can.
Or we have an email.
Or email if you want to be private about it, or on YouTube. And then I don't often post too much shit on Instagram anymore of our site. I usually just attach other things that I think are cute or funny, like puppies or babies. But I think I'm going to do a post on Instagram saying we're truly looking for your opinion on this because we're a little perplexed. And are you prepared? Here's the question to really ask. Are you prepared for us kind of getting spanked a little bit?
Well, I think that's something we do have to prepare ourselves for sure. I was just getting our email address. I couldn't remember what it was.
Jack and Kathy Shit Show at Gmail.
Oh, okay.
Click on that. Click on that again. Yep.
Jack and Kathy Shit Show at gmail.com. And Kathy is with a
Kathy
C.
with a C, A-N-D, not ampersand or that.
Right.
Jack and
spelled
Kathy
out.
Shit Show at Gmail.
Yeah. Yes, to answer your question, yes, I think we have to be prepared for someone to say, hey, that was a bad choice. You completely are not thinking about it right. And that was whatever, insert there into that blank, Yeah. And I think when we have a podcast like this and we put ourselves out publicly, we have to be prepared for criticism.
Oh, for sure.
I think it's part of the whole thing. I'm not saying I'm going to enjoy it or it's going to be easy.
Or I'm going to agree.
But
I'm much more than you, someone willing to say, appreciate your point of view, and I'm still feeling strong about mine. I am curious about it because I do feel strongly that it was, and I'm going to put this out there, and I think you're similar to me. I probably voice things with a little more strength than you do.
Yes, most definitely.
But I do feel you feel as strongly as I that it is not our responsibility to communicate.
I'm more of a tiptoer. And you're more of a sledgehammer.
Well, not total sledgehammer. I'm not
Okay.
afraid to
Small
walk
mallet.
I'm not no, because that implies
Made
that
out of wood.
I come in with an shut up. I feel I just walk strongly no matter what I do. And so I recognize tiptoeing and reading a room and all those other analogies. However, in this circumstance, I'm much more willing to stand solidly and say, I don't feel it was our responsibility. But I'm willing to listen and learn.
Yeah.
Okay, let's segue. This is a long one, and I appreciate it. That's what she said. And then right back to where we are.
Okay, who's reading first?
Thank
You or
for-
me?
But by the way, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, of course.
I know you don't often like to step as eagerly in some of these controversial topics, if it's even controversial at all. But
It
could be,
has
right?
some uncomfortable edges to it for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
Well, you're
love you.
awesome. I love you too.
You know that.
Yes. All right. So we got our cards from the Skin Deep
Yep.
cup edition. Who's going first?
We still haven't reached out to the Gottmans nor the Skin Deep about
Yeah.
sponsorship. I know.
Yep.
You said you were going to do that last podcast. I have it on record.
Add it to my list.
All right, babe. Who's
All
going
right.
to go first? Rock,
You
paper,
read
scissors.
first.
Okay, I'll read first. What do you, and by the way, we ask these questions of one another to continue to learn about each other. And yet what's really funny is as we answer them, we tend to know what the answer is.
We do.
And number two, none have led to a, what the fuck, really? We haven't had that moment. Isn't that kind of cool?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, and this one will be the first.
Okay.
What do you think I am hesitant to talk about with you?
You've expressed it before that you're sometimes hesitant to tell me, how do I want to phrase it? Like, just like if you have to be critical of something that I've done or said or something, like you're hesitant to correct me.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're so smart.
Yeah.
But isn't that C?
Yeah. So I just think the answer is that you don't correct me. You just let me believe that
And
what I did was
scene.
right.
And now we know.
Okay.
Poll number 3. Jeez.
I know how to solve this issue.
Just don't criticize
Just
me.
don't. How
Just
about
don't
that?
get frustrated with me.
And just tell me I do everything right.
Okay. I need
All right.
some weed the next podcast.
Okay, here's my question.
Okay.
What do you think has been our greatest accomplishment thus far as a couple?
Us. That's the first thing that came.
Just us?
Mhm.
Okay, well, that seems really broad.
We have accomplished so much in such a short amount of time. And if I were to get really deep, because you could go to me easy things like the house and moving in together and all this other kind of stuff. I feel our greatest accomplishment is that we continue to put us as a priority.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we have had some really tough moments and we've had some really scary moments, and they haven't been that long ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about them on the podcast. We've talked about them offline.
Mm-hmm.
I can't point to a single thing because everything has been, to your words, growth rings. And we continue to make each other a priority.
Mm-hmm.
Even on this topic today, we said team us. We've been saying team us for a long time, and we forget that sometimes.
Yeah, that was that was a new concept for me to experience. Yeah, in this fuller sense of a relationship, where we're totally committed to each other and the life that we're building, and yeah.
Yeah, I can't point to a greatest accomplishment. I really can't, other than we have just made a commitment to one another. And so, anecdotally, fight we had back when I had that apartment, and we overcame that. A couple of things we've endured here, fixing up the house for sure. My recent thing that I keep talking about on the podcast is me coming to a self-awareness moment saying, I'm doing too much in the house. I need a break.
Mm-hmm.
Because us was important to me, and I felt we were drifting away from us.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that feels like a right answer to you. That's how I feel about it.
I don't know if there's a wrong answer. I think it's a great answer, babe. And on that note.
Oh, wait a minute. We're just ending that quick? You're done, aren't
Yep,
you?
that's it.
Are you mentally done?
Yeah.
This is the longest we've done
Yep.
a podcast. Are you really cashing it in?
Done. turning off
on,
the switch. Going to
dude.
go back to watching Wimbledon.
We're gonna finish watching Wimbledon.
Yep,
Don't tell
I
us.
got to go to the bathroom.
And then
you
what are
know.
we doing this afternoon? Can we hang? Just go do something. Go for a bike ride.
Yeah, if it's not thunderstorming.
Oh, that's right. It's been fucking raining.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, peace.
You just listened to another episode of the Jack and Kathy Shit Show. All recording, engineering, and production provided by us. Connect with the podcast on Instagram at Jack and Kathy Shit Show for more insight into our shit show of a life. This episode is proudly brought to you by Pint Productions.
Point.